Welcome back to the channel, everyone. If you're new around here, it's Wednesday, so that means it's time for midweek market update, where we go through the sealed Pokemon market to keep you informed. And hey, we just crossed 6,000 subs, so as a little thank you, we're going to do a little baby sealed giveaway this video. So if you want to learn how to enter and get a chance to win this little guy, just stay tuned and welcome to PokeMarketLab. I hope you're doing well. It's Wednesday. We've made it halfway through the week. It's midweek market update time, my favorite time of the week, where we crawl through TCG players, see what's happening in the market. I give you my takes. I give you some recommendations on, what you should be looking at, what you should be considering, what you should be avoiding, that kind of thing. And yeah, we're going to talk about this guy, how you can enter to win this guy later in the video. So stay tuned. You got to watch the video. That's kind of the price of entry there on that one. 6,000 subs. I haven't talked about this. Thank you for 6,000 subs. We're not even a year old yet. And I know this is, the growth of this channel is really due, certainly in large part, obviously to you, hopefully to some of the doing some part because of the content we put out, less hype driven stuff, more fundamental, focused, I hope. And then obviously the market just being red hot, but still 6,000 subs. I thought it would take years to get to that point. We got to strike while the iron's hot, so we're going to keep growing the channel, and we got to get to 10,000 subs. That is the next goal. Can we do it by the end of the year? I think that's a stretch, but we're going to try, and obviously we're going to have some super big giveaways when we hit 10K. That's that was at least 6 months ago, almost unimaginable. So again, thank you. And yes, it's time for midweek market update, so let's get into it. So first thing we're going to look at here is Paldean Fates. We're going to look at some of the more expensive booster boxes from Scarlet and Violet. I think one of the things we like to do here is not just go through TCG player. Anyone can do that. Let's talk about trends. Let's talk about moves, where you might be, maybe should be looking. Maybe you got some blinders onto something here. And I think we're seeing earlier Scarlet and Violet. The stuff's getting old. We're getting to that point. We're closing out Scarlet and Violet. And a reminder, it does not mean because we are shifting to Mega Evolution, to a new block, to a new era, that does not mean we're not going to get reprints for Scarlet and Violet. What I will say on that subject is, regardless of what print capacity the Pokemon Company is bringing online, they're still going to be constrained on a production volume standpoint. They're not going to be able to meet demand. So what I've been talking about this throughout the summer is we're at a precipice here where does the Pokemon Company focus forward on production to try to meet that demand, where they change things up instead of, going back and doing a whole bunch of reprints. Maybe they focus more on the new releases and just shoving product down people's throats to kind of keep the market calm. Then go back. I'm just spitballing here about what we could possibly see. I want you to think, I want you to stop and think intelligently about where the market could go. There's a lot of options out there, a lot of paths forward, but that's something I've considered. What I don't want you to think is that Scarlet and Violet's done from a reprint standpoint. I don't think that's true. But what I think is true is that there's a lot to reprint in Scarlet and Violet from a volume standpoint. We have sets that have completely been untouched from a reprint standpoint. Paldean Fates is one of them. And no, the tech sticker collections, the blisters, do not count as any significant volume. That's not enough to quelch any demand. We're going to talk about Paldean Fates today. But I think, back to my original point, I think there's some early Scarlet and Violet boxes that are going to probably run away from us at this point. I don't think there's any kind of print volume at this point that's going to help calm any of that pressure, in terms, not even pressure, that bottom up pressure where it's inflating that price, right? So Paldean Evolved on the screen here. I think some of you know my thoughts on Paldean Evolved. I don't think it's a particularly strong set outside of the Magikarp. I don't particularly love the Magikarp. I will say it's old. I think the print numbers probably aren't in any significant volume versus back half Scarlet and Violet. Just my opinion. I don't have any data to back that up. Every reprint wave we got for Paldean Evolved was not enough to bring that price down. If we zoom out here and we go further out in the chart, there's been almost no dips. So, I did a video yesterday on dollar cost averaging, and that's something you should consider with early Scarlet and Violet. I would stay away from base set. I don't think your money's worth it there. I think we'll see growth, but are we going to see the same kind of percentage growth for dollar spent? I don't think so. I think Paldean Evolved is a fantastic one to look at, and I think we're also going to look at here I think I have pulled up here. Let's see. Yeah, Obsidian Flames is one to consider as well. I will say on Obsidian Flames, I think it's a weak set. I think it's a weaker set. I don't think it's a terrible set, but I think it's it's represented in the card values in the set, and the total value of cards in that set is extremely weak. Last I checked, it was under $300 total for the set. Pull rates are good on this, which also hurts single prices and singles performance. But again, there's some good cards here. I would almost say for that price, I'd want to be looking at Obsidian Flames ETBs, and they're expensive. But if you're going to get exposure, kind of like what I've been talking about on Sword and Shield, grab 2 ETBs, Obsidian Flames ETBs. That promo is fantastic. It is, let me think. It's the best promo, right? And any ETB. I'm not talking about the difference between the stamped version and the regular version, just the artwork alone. That Charmander is a fantastic promo. So I would pick up that ETB because I think it's expensive. I think we're going to talk about it here. It's over 120, 130. It's running away from us. And again, that I think we're getting to the point, we're getting old enough on some of this product that the risk of reprints for early Scarlet and Violet is starting to dwindle. Again, I think there's focus. There's going to be future focus. If they're going to go back and reprint Scarlet and Violet at all, which they will, obviously, are they going to focus back half? Are they going to focus on sets like Prismatic, kind of like what they've done with 151, where it's just been, the funnel has been, the pressure from a print standpoint has been significant at the cost of other sets. That's really what that's the story with 151 is. It's, hey, let's print 151 as much as we can into the ground. And there's other sets that have just hurt because of it. Again, Paldean Fates being one of them. So I think that just lends credence to the fact that I believe early Scarlet and Violet is starting. There's risk there. I don't want to say there's no risk. There's less risk. Obsidian Flames, I think I would be looking at the ETBs. That promo is extremely strong. I just don't think it's a strong enough set for me to want. Remember, I fundamentally believe you buy what you like. And that if you don't like it, and I don't love Obsidian Flames, but I have exposure to it. I have Obsidian Flames booster boxes. I have ETBs. Of course, I want to have exposure to it. I don't hate the set. I just think it's a matter of which box do you get, which piece do you get, which SKU do you get, and I think that ETB makes a lot of sense with that promo. That promo, even, we've seen what's happening with the stamped promo and on the Pokemon Center version of the Obsidian Flames ETB. And I think the regular ETB is going to be quite expensive. In terms of regular ETB performance in Scarlet and Violet, the scarcity, the lack of Obsidian Flames ETBs versus Prismatic, Destin, any of those sets, I think is going to, and adding the, that fuel on the fire, which is that promo, those are going to be one of the best. I would anticipate, I wouldn't be surprised to see that being one of the best performing ETBs in all of Scarlet and Violet outside of 151. All right. Onward here. Some other boxes here we're talking about. I think we're seeing some flight to safety. I think we're seeing some more focus on booster boxes. Again, we've seen prices elevate, especially on early Scarlet and Violet on regular ETBs. There's no cheap avenue to go after early Scarlet and Violet. And I think it's seen again as being a little bit safer. Twilight Masquerade's not early Scarlet and Violet. I think there's definitely risk here. But again, dollar cost average. Twilight Masquerade, we got reprints on the ETBs. We're still not getting significant volumes of booster boxes. We're just not. I feel like there was a rumor recently about, was it Paldea Evolved or Obsidian that we might get a reprint? I don't know. But just none of the reprint volume, none of the reprint waves for any booster boxes outside of Surging Sparks, I will say, was pretty significant in the last 10 months has done anything to any prices. Versus what we're seeing with ETBs. We're seeing, for a long time, the last 4 or 5 months, we've just gone without ETB reprints. We're starting to see those come through. Surging Sparks, Twilight Masquerade, and again, I'm sure we're going to see that on Destined Rivals, Journey Together, all those other sets as well. I just want to throw this out there real quick. This Greninja Ultra Premium Collection, weird product that was so few of these produced. This was an exclusive to GameStop. And this is crazy. And this is a good example, like the prices run up on this. This is a good example of not scarcity isn't always good. We want products to be not scarce at the beginning because people get them, they rip them, that supply dwindles, they fall in love with them, they get experience from them, they remember them, they want them again, right? This is a product that just no one had, no one saw in store, and there's 11 listed on TCG Player. I don't know, did they print 1,000 of them? It's just... again, throwing it out there. And again, I just want to show you, don't go running out to get this just because there's only 11 listed. You can see the sales data on this. It doesn't sell particularly frequently. It's just not a great product. The promos in here aren't fantastic. Again, this will do fine long term, but again, again, to that point, if you're going to spend $230 on an ultra premium collection, you should go and get Prismatic UPC, even at market prices. So, Obsidian Flames, we talked about the regular ETB, the Pokemon Center ETB. Wow, yeah, just gapping up extremely quickly. That stamp promo in here is again, I think it's the best. I'm trying to think. Prismatic there's a lot of good promos in Scarlet and Violet, but I think that one just is such a story. I don't think to have a scene card like that where it's not Charmander in your face. It's a cute Charmander staring out his window. Like it tells such a story. And I think it's a fantastic card. It's one for the books in terms of just how prolific it's going to be in representing Scarlet and Violet. And this obviously this Pokemon Center ETB is really, that's helping to juice that up. The scarcity of these, again, those early Scarlet and Violet Pokemon Center ETBs will never have been printed in any kind of volumes versus the back half Pokemon Center ETBs. I shouldn't say Destined Rivals, Prismatic Evolutions, Twilight Masquerade, all those sets. There's just the volume, the numbers on these seem to be really, really low. And obviously there's been a lot of cracking of them. We see quite a few of the Pokemon Center stamped ETBs out in the wild, which is great. It's probably worth a video to show what that percentage looks like how many boxes have been ripped based on the grading data for the stamped version of that card. I think that would be interesting to look at. But that chase, remember, when you have a chase card like that, when you have a chase card in a set, specifically when you have an ETB promo because it's a guaranteed hit, we want that desire to open and rip that box is good for us sealed investors in long term, right? That dwindles that population. And when there's no resupply of that population coming, i.e., Pokemon Center ETBs not getting reprinted, certainly not for Obsidian Flames, that's a good thing. And again, that's represented, I think, in the price here. So just be careful on these early ones. This is one where, again, if you're going after this, think of it as, yes, you probably have a bunch of upside on this. I would say even at market price is 550, but you're not. Again, we're gapping up here quickly on this. So that was the lowest listings for like 730, and I would not be surprised to see this at $1,000 by the end of the year. Yeah, it's kind of close to guaranteed money at this point, but you got to be really careful on this. Again, you're buying something that has massive upside. This sold for $60 at one point, right? And I think if you're going to spend $500, this is not a terrible way to do it. I think it checks a lot of the boxes. Great promo, okay set. Certainly scarcity is a box to check. Good artwork on the box. But just be careful. Know you have as much upside as you have some downside as well. But again, no reprint risk coming on these. Paldean Fates Pokemon Center ETB is another one. This we're going to talk about Paldean Fates regular ETBs. This one, man, I'm kicking myself. I saw one in a local game store. I think it was about $300 like two or 3 months ago, and I'm like, I should grab one. It's a hole in my collection that I don't have, and I didn't. And again, just yeah, if you do this long enough, you got to go with your gut. This was a stupid. I mean, this is a good promo. It's got the Mimikyu. It's not the best promo, but I think it's a good B tier promo from Scarlet and Violet. Fantastic set. It's a set. It's a beautiful artwork on this box for a Pokemon Center box. This is one of my favorite artworks in all of Scarlet and Violet ETBs. I think it's beautiful, and I just missed out. I missed out on the Pokemon drop for this, and I had another opportunity, and I still didn't. And again, this is where. It's just like an automatic pickup. It seemed expensive at $300, but then even at the time, regular ETBs were pushing 150, I think. So it wasn't crazy. And again, to know that Paldean Fates, again, no more reprints coming for this. Paldean Fates really hasn't had much attention. We'll talk about that in a minute. I should have picked that up. And then just last one we're going to talk about on the Pokemon Center ETBs, Paldea Evolved, another one. Just be careful with these. But again, scarce. I think you could do. I would almost rather have the Pokemon Center ETB versus some of the booster boxes at that price. I know it seems nuts. Per pack price is crazy, but this is a collector's box. This is a collector's item. It is. They don't call it a collector's box. It's the closest thing we have in the Pokemon hobby, and I think for that money, and then the performance growth has been way better than booster boxes, hands down, better than booster boxes on early Scarlet and Violet on a percentage basis. Sorry, I didn't talk about this one. I didn't realize I had this one up, but yeah, Surging Sparks Pokemon Center ETB is pumping pretty good. 37% in growth in the last month alone. This is another one where this checked all the boxes. You got Pikachu on there. You have, what was the promo on this one? Magneton, right? Another just beautiful piece of artwork. I think those Magneton Pokemon Center cards are actually undervalued. Last time I checked, they were undervalued. Take a look at those. but this is another great box. So you kind of think about Surging Sparks as it's a great set, beautiful artwork on the Pokemon Center box, great promo. Look at the boxes we just talked about, and how great, how even lackluster some of those promos are outside of Obsidian Flames, right? Look at the performance of some of these boxes. What do you think is going to happen on this one? Okay, so I always tell people I'm a value investor. I want to go after MSRP, but that is for products that are still in reprint, in the print world, that are at risk for print, I should say. This is a different story. I'm not saying it's impossible to see Pokemon Center. I would be shocked to see a Pokemon Center ETB drop for Surging Sparks. It's not impossible, but I would be shocked. Remember, we got Twilight Masquerade some months after that initial release for Twilight Masquerade. We got Pokemon Center drop for those ETBs. So again, not impossible, but would you be shocked on this product a year from now for this to be 500? I wouldn't. We know what's going on with regular Surging Sparks ETBs. That supply is coming in. That extra supply just separates. It makes the value of the Pokemon Center version even more, in my opinion. All right, let's move on here. Destined Rivals Pokemon Center ETBs. These are starting to gap up too. 35% in the last month. Everyone was expecting another drop on these. We did not get a release day drop. This one is absolutely at risk. Not a guarantee that we're going to see more of this hit the market, or hit Pokemon Center, I should say. But just be careful. And again, if you want to have one, you don't want to take a risk. Just because they drop on Pokemon Center does not mean you're going to get the option of getting it at 60. I will say it will probably drop the price on TCG Player. So just kind of keep that in mind. You may have a better entry point from a price standpoint, but I mean, even let's say you can't snag the Pokemon Center the next Pokemon Center drop. Do these drop below 200? No, not a chance. Not a chance. So if any price between, $300 is not a terrible price for this. It's going to perform extremely well. Again, I would say the promo is okay on this. Not as good as Surging Sparks for sure. We have scarcity now. It's a beautiful box. This is a beautiful looking box, hands down. So again, if you want dollar cost average, or maybe, hey, Destined Rivals, you can't get any other product. If you're going to spend $300, I would still rather have the Pokemon Center version of this ETB versus the booster box. I know, call me crazy, but in terms of price growth, we're going to get more booster boxes, I feel like. And again, whether that's in any kind of volume to drop the price, we have no idea, but I would take my chances more on the Pokemon Center box performing well long term. Keep your eye out on other Pokemon Center boxes. Do your research. Boxes below 200. We've talked about Shrouded Fable. That one's up now. Temporal Forces. These are not as strong. But when you're talking about, we have a Pokemon Center box for 151 that's approaching $1,000. Is there an option for Temporal Forces to be $300, $400 in the future, right? So just kind of look at these, research them. I think Paradox Rift, Temporal, the box art and the promos are pretty weak, but they're good sets. I really do love those sets. They do a lot of heavy lifting in Scarlet and Violet. Obsidian Flames boxes, just quickly here. We talked about that earlier in the video. These are expensive. I would absolutely rather have two of these than a booster box of Obsidian Flames. I know that's crazy, but that promo is going to go down in history as one of the best promos. I hands down, I love it. Again, this is subjective, but I think the price performance on this box, the price performance relative to the booster box versus the ETB, the price performance and the price up on that promo, both the stamped and unstamped version, I think is indicative of that being very prolific inside of Scarlet and Violet. Prismatic Evolutions Pokemon Center boxes, still gapping up here too. Again, people are taking, I think, profits elsewhere. People are looking for scarcity. I think people maybe, it seems like there's more, I don't know, there's a little bit more intelligence in the market lately, where we're seeing people get out of things they shouldn't be chasing in terms of like ETBs and things like that, and going for things that are like, hey, this is scarce, it's a little safer. And I think we're seeing that the performance in some of these boxes, again, compared to what we're seeing in booster boxes, compared to what we're seeing on regular ETBs, is doing a lot better. I think the money seems to be flowing a little bit more intelligently. I have no data to prove this other than the boxes that we've looked at, but this is another one. Do we get another opportunity on this? We've had quite a few opportunities on this product at this point. This is another one though. I mean, would you be shocked 2 years from now for this to be $1,000 box? I wouldn't. I would say that's as close to, if we're going to use the G word, guarantee, I would say that's an inevitability at this point versus regular prismatic boxes. Yes, quite a bit cheaper, but 3 of those versus 1 of these, percentage growth, I would say the Pokemon Center ETB is going to do better, at least in the next year. Shrouded Fable, Pokemon Center ETB. Look at this. Look at this price performance. We talked about this, and people are finally catching on. I'm not saying I'm the one who's made people catch on to this, but 24% growth. I still think this is undervalued. It's a okay promo, okay set. I love the coloring on this box. It's a phenomenal coloring on this box, just artwork style. I think the Pokemon choices for the set was, again, it's not everyone's favorite, but there's some cards to love in this set. It's a rare box. And I think we were pushing, let's see, with the Shrouded Fables, so we're $120 on the Pokemon Center ETB. Regular ETB is sitting at about $72. So for $50 more, you're getting the Pokemon Center Scarce version. Yes, please. Surging Sparks, regular ETBs. This is a great price to buy. If you didn't have exposure to Surging Sparks, snag some of these. It's a great looking box. It's not the rare Pokemon Center version, but this is a great looking box. This is a good entry point. This is what we do. This is what we preach. Wait for a good entry point. You back the truck up. $76. I don't know that you're going to get a much cheaper option other than snagging the Costco bundle itself, which is what caused this drop in the market here. And we are seeing the volume of this pick up. People are realizing, hey, this is a good opportunity. Back the truck up. So we're seeing some pretty significant, very significant uptick in purchase volume, which makes sense. Not enough to recover that price, but this is a great opportunity. Again, is this going to be? It's already proven itself. It can be $100 box with scarcity, right? Surging Sparks, great set. Kudos to the Pokemon Company for keeping the foot on the gas in terms of reprints for Surging Sparks. Booster boxes are in high supply on TCG Player, and obviously we're getting Surging Sparks through Costco with the ETB and Booster bundle. So. Journey Together, Pokemon Center ETB. It's another one where, are we going to get another opportunity? I don't know. Really solid, definitely a solid promo on a okay set. I think I love the coloring on this box. There's another one. Again, would you be shocked for this to be $200 or $300 in a year or two? No. This is where you want to be. If you're going to be buying ETB, spend a bit more money and buy the premium version to collect and put on your shelf and enjoy. All right, quick break to talk about some housekeeping. If you're serious about this hobby, please be subscribed below. Leave a comment below, like the video, and also if you're really serious, please check out Sleeved TCG. It's a Discord community, but it's also in-stock monitors. Yes, there's a lot of Discords out there that do similar things, that do it for free or do it for cheaper, but they use affiliate links. I want you to keep that in mind. I cannot tell you how many times in other Discords I've gotten burned with those affiliate links because they're going through URL redirects, right, to provide a kickback to that server if you make a purchase, and that takes time. And you're talking about some of these drops, you got 10 to 15 seconds to make that purchase before you're done. You're competing with bots that are faster than humans. Sleeved gets you right to that link, no affiliate links, and just the cost of a couple cups of coffee. So I urge you, just take a look. And there's also, there's a lot of discussion and whatnot that happens in that Discord as well. Lots of tips and tricks and backdoors and all this kind of stuff to help you get product or help you try to get product at MSRP. There are no guarantees today. And let's talk about giveaway. We're going to do a giveaway in this video. Again, thank you for 6,000 subs. So we're going to give away a Galar mini tin here to a lucky commenter. All you got to do, you got to be subscribed, like the video, leave a comment below, and that gets you in the running to potentially win this tin shipped in the mail to you as my little bit of thanks for crossing 6,000 subs. Again, all you got to do, comment below, no cost to you. I'll pay for shipping and all that stuff. Back to the video. Regular Paldean Fates ETBs. Again, we keep getting this. We get these tech sticker collections, and that's all we've gotten for Paldean Fates in a year. Maybe a sprinkling of bundles here and there. I don't know what's going to happen with this set. I have exposure to. I have quite a few of the ETBs. I love this set. It's great to open. A good promo on this box. You get those baby shinies are phenomenal to pull and collect, and this is running away from us. And it's just like a glaring miss on the Pokemon Company's part in terms of reprints, and I don't know what to tell you. I will tell you that if you're going to spend $250, I want to reach higher and grab that Pokemon Center version because I still think there's risk here. This is not old enough for it to be shut off completely in terms of reprints, but we've seen nothing. And that Bubble Mew is just is getting it's going parabolic at this point. 73% return on Bubble Mew in the last month alone is wild. So there's really nothing, and the supply of all the SIRs from Paldean Fates, every card from Paldean Fates, there's no one. You're gonna open a $250 ETB. It's just the proposition of opening a $250 ETB right now for a set that's like a year old, year and a half, year is nuts. So I don't think there's any. I don't know there's any amount of supply or anything the Pokemon Company can do to get the. I mean, the Bubble Mew is not going to come down in price. I mean, you could see a retrace, but I don't think you'll ever see that below $500 again. I don't think there's enough supply that they could bring to bear for Paldean Fates to bring the prices down. And it's not one of those situations where it's like a subpar set, and so the product hits the market and then no one wants it. Like there's demand from I would say $100 up easily on Paldean Fates all day. Are they going to knock $150 of price value off of this box with supply? I don't know that they can do that. So this is one of those where, again, dollar cost average. To me, I'd be finding, checking my couch cushions for a few more bucks here to get the Pokemon Center version. I say that, and I still haven't bought one, but at least grab. I mean, certainly if you can find the tech sticker collection, if you snag them at Target, where I think we saw them at Macy's as well, snag them. They're great. I don't care any product for Paldean Fates get. If you get it at MSRP, it's an auto buy. Doesn't matter what it is. And you should think about, do you grab an ETB here and just dollar cost average? Just grab one, wait for a pullback opportunity. You may never get one at this point, but it's weird. It's a weird one. It's really weird. So let's wrap this video up. We're at the end here. Thank you for sticking in. If you made it to the end of the video, appreciate it. Hit that sub button below. And I think the market, we're back in the groove of things here. It's September. Let's see what happens in the next few weeks as far as sales volume goes. We're starting to see, feels like the kind of flood of money coming back into the market here. People are pumped for Mega Evolution, Phantasmal Flames. We got some box art, at least for a couple cards as well. And it'll be interesting to see sales data in the next few weeks. That's the big video in September, is what is the sale? Where's the money flowing to? Is it still flowing to Destined Rivals? Is it flowing to Prismatic? What is the sponge in the market right now? Is it pre-sales for Mega Evolution? Is it 151? We're going to do a video on 151 this week. We're that one's far in the rearview mirror at this point, and we got to think about making some moves there if we haven't already. So, but yeah, that's our midweek market update. I hope you're having an awesome week. Let's finish strong, and we'll see you on the next one. PokeMarketLab